Hey guys, Alex here, Elevated Lifestyle Lab, doing a podcast today from Bogota, Colombia, doing episode 14, doing it with my good friend, also my compadre, also known as the godfather to Isabella, Jairo Garcia. He's a recent superstar on TikTok. Just about a year ago, he blew up on TikTok. I'm bringing him on to talk a little bit about that. We're going to start today's episode with the importance of his position as being a godfather, where I'm not so used to it as being like that in the States, so he kind of goes over the tradition of it here in Colombia and the importance of it, and then we get started on how he went viral on TikTok and how he is doing his teaching in the college for his marketing class and how the education system could change here in Colombia and also the United States. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I know. It's something different, and here in Colombia, not for most of the people, but a lot of people, it's like so religious and the importance of the godfathers.
Yeah.
So it's our pleasure to be Isabella's godfathers with Muff.
Yeah. I think it's cool just of the tradition of it, because how people take it seriously like that. Because I feel like, at least from what I've found in the United States, it's more, you don't get somebody besides the parents to care for the kids or to take responsibility if something more happens. So I think it's a cool thing.
I think that happens because like families in Latin America are different than in USA. Because
I've learned.
we are here like so much closer each other and to do a lot of things together.
Sure.
And I don't know if it is true, but when you turn 18 in USA, you just have to go and make your own life.
Yeah, go and be free. Yeah, it's so different here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids stay at home until they get married and have kids, right?
It's not it's not the ideal, it's not the best, but a lot of people stays with parents maybe until 30, but 30 is staying at home. It's kind
a long
of
time.
It's a long time.
Sure.
I was with my parents until 23, I think, 23, 24 years.
Yeah. That's not too bad. I was about the same. 18 I left, but then I came back, so it's cool. So I wanted to do a podcast with you. I should have done one with you when we were back in the United States when you were visiting me, because I had all my podcast equipment. But I wanted to bring you on just to talk about your new famous experience of being on TikTok. Because I know we've talked about it before. First, I guess let's back up. You're a professor. You teach marketing here at colleges in Bogota.
Yeah. I'm professor of marketing and advertising here in some college. And last year, 2020, February, I start making videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
And it was a fun and funny experience. But I didn't know that it was going to grow that much, that account. And that's because I think a lot of people shares my way of thinking the education, that it's like a different way of teaching, of learning, and that's what I share in my.
Is that what started? Did you talk about education stuff when you first started TikTok, or was it just goofy videos?
No, I started with goofy videos, and actually was like just 2 goofy videos. Then I start just sharing with people what I usually do with my students.
Yeah.
In the classes, in the classroom, in the university, outside, whatever. And then I see how people start like writing me comments and a lot of things, telling me that, hey, it's so cool the way you think education, the way you do your classes, the way you teach. So that's nice. Then I start like more and more, and now the account it's
growing
pretty
huge.
big.
Does it feel weird to get like up to 1 million views? Like, just to know that many people have their eyes on you? Is that weird?
Yeah, for the first time, my first video, and actually the most viral video, it's about close to 8 million
Wow.
views.
On TikTok.
That's a lot. I was
Yeah.
trying to imagine how looks 8 million people
In person, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's almost this city. It's almost all Bogota
Watching
watching
you.
my video. Yeah, it's so weird.
It's crazy.
It's so weird, but it's cool. It's very cool. And when you see people in the streets and they kind of recognize you, they staying like looking at you like, oh, this is
I
the
know
guy.
him. I know him.
I know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really
Pretty
cool. When your little logo that you have on Instagram, where it's that like
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
how'd that come about? How'd you
Oh,
get that?
that's just the stickers on my iPhone
Uh-huh.
that you can make it,
Yeah, that's it.
and I think it was cool, and with that funny face, because it's kind of serious but kind of funny,
Right.
and that's the perfect mix of who I am or how I am.
Yeah, it represents you perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's I've never because most of all your videos are in Spanish, so I don't understand a lot of them. But talking to you just in regular life, I would consider you, if I were to be able to understand your teaching, would be like I would relate it to like the cool teacher at the school. Like if you're you go through school and sometimes you'll have like that one cool teacher like I wish he taught like all the classes because like you're saying you have a different approach to the way you teach. And we were talking when you were back at my house how you would change so many things of the education system, right? Just because we were talking about how it was here in Colombia. I was telling you how it was in the United States, and both I think are just really, really lacking. I believe.
yeah, and actually, one of the biggest problems in Latin America is our educational system, and it's for two reasons. The first one is not everybody can go to a high quality
Private,
education.
yeah, like a private
They
school, right?
cannot do
Yeah.
cannot do that. They cannot afford that because incomes here in Colombia and Latin America are so low, and good schools and good universities are so expensive. So 1% of the people can afford that, can pay for that.
Only one.
Yeah, 1% of the people. So I start working in it's kind of, let's say, maybe middle class college. So those people really needs to change their lives.
Mm.
I know, and all teachers know, that the only way to change our life is through education.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Yeah.
So I become a teacher without expectations and everything, because
Sure.
I think my teachers from school looking me now, they will be like surprised or something.
Sure.
Because you
How you did
teacher,
in school
but
compared
you
to
are
now.
you are like a pain in
But that's probably why you make like a good teacher, because you relate to so many of the other younger people that are coming up, right? Because like I would say like 20 years ago, like your parents, my parents, the teaching was like by the book. It was like da 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 da, and I feel like this generation's coming up with just like we can see that there's a problem with how it's teaching, how it's communication, especially with the kids. And like you're saying, especially when the younger kids or the people or families in poverty don't have the expenses to pay for the private education, it really makes those kids start off so much slower, right? Like just experiencing life, experiencing education, they're so limited here. Same with the U.S. It's really sad. It sucks.
Yeah. Yes or no?
Yeah,
Because we have free education here too,
sure.
but it's so bad. The quality is so bad,
Yeah,
and the opportunities for that people, uh, it's growing up when you get higher education. I mean, if you just do the high school and then start working, you can find a job, but really low paid jobs,
yeah,
and you cannot transform your life and everyone's life, everyone around you,
sure.
because as we say at the beginning, in USA you are kind of more lonely than here.
Right.
Here the whole family, it's together all the time. So
Sure.
if one person achieve the goal to
Go to college or
go
graduate.
to college or graduate from college, it's gonna be so much better, the opportunities for everyone there. And it's one of the, I mean, my family, it's that story, exactly that story, because I was the second person in my whole family to being graduate from college.
Wow.
The first one was my uncle that you know.
Oh, cool.
He was the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
So what happened before us and before my uncle? They used to work hard, live, but I call better not dying. That's different than the real life, real living.
Mm-hmm.
But they used to think, my grandparents, they used to think that you don't need to study. We are cool. We are okay. You have to work to get your things. But having like a bigger view to see like the world so much bigger
Sure.
as it is, you can find other ways to get better things through education. That's the only way, and that's why I love my job. I love being professor, and being a professor, a cool professor, with good things, with jokes, with having fun, with developing other skills that are so important, like talking, like expressing, like acting, like argumenting, everything. I try to mix everything in all my classes, and I think that's why most of my students like what we do.
The way you do it. I think it's huge too, because you're saying like education. So for me, I always talk about on these podcasts. A couple years ago, I mean, I was like an okay student. I got through college. I just wasn't interested, mostly because of the way they taught. It was like you just open up a history book and you're reading history and you're reading English, and it's like boring as hell. And I feel like the whole podcast world, and when YouTube and audiobooks, when I started diving into that, I found it so much more interesting to me, to where I was learning stuff. So it wasn't like back in high school where I was like, have to read the same book 6 times to pass the test. It's like I wanted to listen to these podcasts about, living better, or learning about nutrition or exercise. And I think you're right, with education, it's really the only thing that's gonna, I call it a paradigm shift, because so many people like your grandmother say, or your mother, just work hard, just go to school and get a job and just work hard. And that's like the paradigm of so many people. It's just like a closed lane. They don't really see outside, like you're saying. And I think you're so right about education really opening the door to like, there's more. It's more than just like make money and survive. It's about helping other people. It's about teaching. I think it's super important.
One of the biggest problems of traditional educational system here and in USA, it's that they're preparing people for factories, for the traditional factories.
Right?
That's why you have a schedule, you have to use a uniform, you have
5 days a week.
5 days a week, you have to do some things, to have a boss and everything. That's how they prepare us. Test, one of the biggest problems in US educational system is the test, because life is not a test. No way, never. You never in real life present a test. Never. You just yes, you want to own your things, to buy your stuff, to build a family, to travel, to whatever you want.
Sure.
But I think school should be a place to discover what you really want in your life, what motivates you, what makes you happy, because for real, and more after this pandemic year, we really value more all the moments on everything we are doing in our life, because we cannot spend our whole life like doing the job, working, having stress. No, We are giving more value to other things, to family, to travel, to have fun, to be better. So that's why I try to make some videos to show to other professors that, hey, you can do whatever you want, but in a funnier way, because it's more motivated to your students.
Sure.
And your students, if they are motivated in your class, they can do whatever they want in their lives.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I think it's made it more apparent for parents when the virus hit all the lockdown this year and all the schools shut down and everybody's doing Zoom for the teachers. And I think I've heard of a lot of parents, you know, they'll oversee the class and they're listening to the teacher. And like you had mentioned before, and some of these teachers are just like they're just reading from a book with no emotion, it's super boring. Like you're saying, it's like just like blah 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 blah, and it's like it's
yeah,
terrible.
but it's not just teachers' fault.
Sure.
It's the whole system.
Sure.
Because, I mean, at least here, for schools, college not that much, but for schools, you are not paid well.
Same.
You have a lot of problems. You don't have like a full contract to be like calm about your other things and focus your mind on building better classes.
Right.
So you have a lot of more problems around. So okay, and also you have 30 kids, 40 kids there, like screaming and yelling and crying, eating whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so
I can
hard.
imagine.
I know it's so hard. I hope this virtual system that we had to implement this year can be like a mix this year and
Coming
next
out,
year.
yeah.
We can find like a new way to do the classes, like part virtual, part presential, because when you are in the classroom with the kids, you develop more skills than just in your computer.
Sure.
I know that's important to know. I don't know how to send an email, how to build a blog, how to, I don't know, use some software.
Sure.
That's good.
It's all important.
That's okay.
Sure.
That's important. But you have to play. You have to
This face to face.
Yes, you have to
Yeah.
share with people. You have to think, to analyze, to do other things, and focus in that. Because
Right.
when you are here, okay, I can be giving my class, but somebody's knocking, but I have to make the breakfast, I have to prepare lunch, somebody's yelling, my neighbor, whatever.
Sure.
So we can make like a mix
Yeah.
for this.
Well, that's what you said.
year.
Like when you had to go full virtual, you had to kind of reevaluate how you were going to do it on the virtual because, like you're saying, when you had class in person, you have like games, you like to play with them, you're very interactive with the kids, you make them interact with each other, but then all that's virtual, and like you're saying, you're like, it's like that's like my thing because you're so good in person with talking with people. So how did you change that, or how did you incorporate that to the virtual?
The first semester of this year, we start the virtual classes like March, I think, like in March. So I already knew all the students because I knew them for 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because
it was easier
yeah,
to do with them because I already knew them in the real life.
right.
The second semester, it was so hard because we start the semester without knowing them. Just by the camera when they turn it on.
Yeah, sometimes they don't even turn
No.
it on. Right?
They don't do anything. So I start to trying to build and design some classes where, okay, if in the classroom that you have 30 persons and it's a 2-hour class, and there with you in front, they don't pay attention. What about if they are in their home, in their bed, like this, just turning on?
With their phone.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm here, teacher. Yeah, just doing that. So how to build it better? So one of the things that I did was like starting all classes with some games kind of, I don't know. Once I start like playing as a or acting as a DJ. So I was the DJ. Hi, this is Jairo from Bogota, and we are playing so good music. Now it's connecting, and while the people were connected to the class, oh, hi, Alex, welcome. Where are you from? Where are you connecting from? Oh, we are listening today some salsa, some reggaeton, some whatever.
Yeah.
And there was like 10 minutes at the beginning of the class. So all the people like put into the mood
Yeah,
to,
yeah, yeah.
oh, okay, this is
It's
cool.
cool, yeah.
This is cool. At least, and it was something that I tell to my students that I hope that at least you say, okay, I'm gonna connect to this class because I'm gonna learn and have fun.
Sure.
That's for sure. That's
Yeah.
for sure. And sometimes I try to explain them some things about advertising, but cooking, cooking a pizza. I did once that someday.
Uh-huh.
It was like a recipe with all the ingredients, and I was making like analogies.
Yeah, yeah.
So the cheese is the strategy. The sauce is the, I don't know, the concept. And,
Right.
okay, we are building a big ad campaign here. Okay, and you have to help me, give me some comments, talk, do some screenshots, put it on the social media, on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Tag me, and that's so fun. It was so cool, but you have to have the like the initiative to
to get creative
to
like
do
that.
it. Yeah.
You have to have the personality too, because a lot of people don't have that. You know, they don't have that. It's just that simple. They just don't have it. That's why I think a lot of the kids gravitate to how you interact with them and how you do that. It's a cool concept. And that's how you were saying how the whole educational system is based on factory workers and setting up with a time slot. And that's why with Sebastian, my son, I started him at the Montessori school. And it's a different approach than just your traditional, history, math, and English. Like they still incorporate the same lessons plan because it's still required by the state to have your ABCs and your addition and your English. Like that's all incorporated, but instead of being a structured class, practicing your vowels and practicing your numbers, they incorporate it more into like projects. Like so they'll have, instead of one age group like 6-year-olds or 7-year-olds for grades, it's like 3 years of ages. So 3 to 6-year-olds, and then I think 6 to 9. So there's different ages combined into one, and they're doing projects together. So they highlight more of what the student is motivated to do. So if they think maybe Sebastian's good with math, then they're going to push him more towards math. Or if he's finding interest in art or English, they're going to push him. And I think that's such a better way, from what I've learned, because I really didn't pay much attention to any of this, like education-wise, until I had kids. And it's like, well, let me do some homework. Let me see what's going on here. So it really opened my eyes to the different ways of how shitty the original is. And there's so many good schools, it's hard to say that it's shitty, because still kids learn great, they have a great outcome. But I just think the system is kind of broken on the way, because a lot of people say, at least I've heard, and I think so as well, like school doesn't teach you about keeping track of your bank account or how to deal with debt or how to deal with anything personal. It's just so you get out of school and it's like, okay, I can like count to 10 and I can do 2 plus 2, but like it's not like setting me up for life. Like it's
Yeah, I think the system right now it's designed for a world that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
When I was at school, we used to have teachers used to have like kind of categorization of the students. It depends what signatures, what topics they like.
Mm-hmm.
So people who likes like maybe math or trigonometry or geometry or chemistry or physics. Those are like, oh, this is better. This student is better than the one who loves art,
Right.
or who
Or
loves
music
write
or something.
or
Right.
music. Why?
I know.
Why? And it's too hard to for the people find their purpose in life. It's so hard. It's so hard. We actually me, I'm still like looking for what is that huge purpose, why I am here. And imagine with kids. Kids
Yeah.
just want to have fun, to play, to share with others, and to develop some skills. But that system where Sebastian is,
Mhm.
it's so cool, I think, because he will find by himself what he likes, what he
Yeah.
loves, what he enjoy to doing,
Not
because
forced to do. Right.
not force,
Yeah.
not force, but showing him like the whole options. Okay, let me see, what about the numbers, what about the letters, what about the painting, what about the nature, what about
Yeah. Yeah.
other things. And also in schools they should like implement uh, real life topics like nutrition, finance, behavior, citizen behavior,
Sure.
like entrepreneur. I don't know the word.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Entrepreneurship.
Yep.
All the things, those things that in real life it will help you,
Yeah.
but not knowing in what year was the whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So do you find with all your followers now that you have a responsibility to try to use your your followers to try to change that?
Yeah, when I receive message like strong messages from people that I don't know,
Yeah.
but our message like, mm, you inspire me. I studying to become professor, and I wanna be with like you. That's like, oh my god, really?
You feel it here, right?
Yeah, of course, because it's a huge responsibility,
Yeah.
because it's a lot of people that is watching me,
Yeah.
watching what I do, what I don't do, what I say, what I think, and that's, oh my god, it's a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to mix my content with serious things, serious in my kind of serious,
Right.
serious things,
Yeah.
like jokes, like tips, like some good apps to do something,
Mm-hmm.
and try to make a lot of, not a lot, but some live streaming with them to share with them.
Mm-hmm.
And last week, no, 2 weeks ago, wrote me a girl through Instagram and tell me a very hard thing.
Mm-hmm.
She told me like, I don't know, you don't know me, I don't know you, just your content, but I don't know, you inspire me to talk to you because I feel so bad. She's like a teenager having her problems,
Sure.
her fights with her parents and everything. She was like 14, maybe 15 years, and she told me that she was thinking about suicide.
Mm.
And I was, oh my god,
I know, shit.
what am I, but why me, why she talks to me now? It's, I feel like responsible,
Sure.
and I just start talking to her like, but how do you feel, why you say that, how's your relation with your, and she started like, he take it off everything she got, and then I gave her like some advices, like the regular advices,
Sure.
and she then like a week later started writing me like, oh, thank you, I think, yes, I think I can do things different, this is working, I did that with my mom, with my sister, perfect. And in the New Year's Eve,
Mm-hmm.
she wrote me, and she told me like, thank you, I think it's really working. Now I'm so close with my mom, with my sister, with my daddy, with everything. Thank you for your words and for listening to me. And I was like, oh my god. So for the teachers, the like the message that they have to have always in their hearts and minds, it's that you never know when one word from you can change the life of your kids.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. And some of my teachers at school, it happens the same. Like I remember some phrases like so strong that probably they don't,
Mm-hmm.
but those little phrases or those things that they told me, it's makes me think like different in life. So
Sure.
teachers should be like more connected with students' histories.
Sure. No, it's huge. I mean, that's kind of like you talked about your purpose and how you're still trying to you're always questioning it, which I think everybody in life is always wondering like, why am I here? What's my purpose? What's fulfilling? And I think it's when I started doing all these long distance running races and I kind of changed my life as far as nutrition and being a better husband and a dad and doing all that, and then I started this podcast and started sharing my experiences about what I've done, and I still don't get like a ton of views, but I've had a few people reach out the same way when I do these races. They'll see my podcast, they'll hear what I'm talking about, raising money for this cause. But like you're saying, when people reach out, because like I think the same way, it's like, why would people even take the time to listen to what I say, or how am I going to change other people's lives? And I think in the social media world, we get caught up in like, oh, I want to have 1 million followers and I want to have this many. But like you're saying, you don't know the butterfly effect that you could just say one thing, you could inspire one person, and they might not commit suicide. They might go and be a professor just like you and try to change the world. Like it's a crazy. It's like I think it's become almost too common to like, especially with social media growing so much and influencers being like, oh, influencers, like let me show my butt, let me show this.
Yeah.
But when you really get into the heart of what you can do with it, with that power, and how you can change people's lives, that is what I've been discovering for my purpose. Because I'm assuming that what I feel when I read those, when people tell me how I've maybe changed, like they started working out or they did this with their kids or doing that, it's like, man, I feel like right here, like it's like you almost get teared up. It's like, that's life, man. That's the good shit,
Yeah, and that word, influencer, it's huge. I mean,
Yeah.
I really appreciate the word influence because I don't think I'm an influencer,
Right.
or at all. No, nothing. I just sharing my way of thinking, the education, and that's it. A lot of people used to call me, "No, but you're famous now. You're an influencer." Yeah, and I say, "No, influencer. My dad, my mom, that influenced to me and to my sisters,
Right.
and some teachers can influence in a good way,
Mm-hmm.
and we right now, I think, okay, there's a lot of influencers that show their body and
Yeah.
that's it. But there are some that they're growing too. They're not that big with that huge accounts with millions of followers,
Yeah.
but they are like more connected with their followers,
Yeah.
and that's better.
Yeah.
That's so much better.
That's like we were talking, because you'll see like a hot girl or a hot guy that has 5 million followers, but they have 100 likes. It's because like they're not their tribe or their followers aren't. They're not like excited to read their how big their butt is. Yeah,
The engagement is the
engagement.
name.
Yeah. So they're not getting anything like it. And I find the same with the whole podcast world and the people that I follow that are influencers, more on the positive side. Living a better life and nutrition and more positive stuff like that. Is their followers aren't they don't have as many followers or that many as views. I mean, they still have hundreds of thousands, but compared to some, they could have tens of millions. But it's the tribe. Like you can tell they have millions of comments. They're changing people's lives like the same way. It's not just like, let me promote this bikini or this perfume. It's like, no, I'm going to change your life. Just listen to what I have to tell you. I'm going to share my experiences with you. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
What's your take, since you are influencer, not influencer, on the whole social media now? I don't know if you saw that movie, The Social Network, on Netflix. What do you think about just in general social media and the usage of it, the addiction of it?
Social media right now gives voice to everybody. Voice. Gives you the opportunity to show your thoughts to a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but with some
Your
people.
circle, yeah.
I think influencers, it's making like making think bad to kids and teenagers, because they think that all in life is become famous.
Yeah.
Like,
To get
I want to be
likes,
famous.
yeah.
I want more likes. I want more followers. I want more shares. I want that, and that's the bad thing, because now, I don't know, when you were at school and somebody congratulate you or say, "Hey, good job" or whatever, one people, two people, three people, you felt good.
Yeah.
But now, if I don't know, if you share something with people and you don't get enough likes or comments or whatever, you feel like it wasn't good or it wasn't enough for what are you doing.
Sure.
So that's the bad thing, and that's why I think parents right now have to, okay, share with them, talk to them about what is social media, what is good, what is bad. Uh, but in general, I think it's a good thing, because it gives voice, and and you can show a lot of things to more people
Than
in
just
the
your
world.
friends, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like I'm not saying it's terrible, because I feel like I've benefited from it a whole lot, but I feel like everybody gets a voice, which is good, and everybody gets a voice, which kind of is bad, because you see so much negative bullshit on there. You see so much other shit on there, and I'm kind of torn on it, because I find myself, I can feel the addiction, like, because I'm an ex-addict. I used to, drink a lot and party a lot, and it's the same kind of strings that's pulling in my brain. I feel it when I turn on Instagram and I start scrolling, and I feel like it pulls you in. You know what I mean? Like, you go to make a story, like I'm gonna go to make a podcast or something, but then you find yourself 30 minutes later just scrolling, and then you. For me, I've caught myself now. Maybe like when I put the phone down, maybe I used to feel like depressed, or maybe I used to feel sad or happy, and I want to know why. Like, I wouldn't even be aware of it until I would have a fight with my friend or a parent. But then when you start thinking of what you're thinking about, like, why am I sad? Because you're comparing yourself to famous people. You're comparing to somebody on the yacht. So I think there's definitely pros, because you can connect to worldwide and you can get your message out there and share it. But I think the addictive side is
Yeah, but if you find your purpose, you will not feel sad anymore.
right,
Because
right.
I mean, yours. You have a beautiful family, beautiful wife, beautiful kids. You are a hardworking man, and that's the project of your life,
Right.
I think. So that's what matters in your
Right,
life.
right.
Not if the guy next door is with a Jags or something. I know you can work hard and do your things and offer to your family whatever you want, but the attention and the likes and the love that you really want, it's your family,
Yeah.
not the others. I know the feeling about, hey, why this guy this, and I know the addiction of the social media, and TikTok is even worse, I think,
Yeah.
because they have like 10-second videos,
Mm-hmm.
so it's
People
so
just watch.
go, and actually I don't watch too much TikTok.
No?
No, I just some videos just to check what's the trends,
Right.
to know the trends, and then I start like thinking about how to make something to my account, and that's it. But I used to. It's kind of weird when I have good videos, like good views. I mean, more than 100,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, but I know that there's a lot of comments, like maybe 800, 900, 1,000 comments. I will not read that. No
No.
way. No.
And I think people get messed up when they do, because maybe 80% are good, and the other 20 could just be. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah. But, and that's good for the account. Because
Sure.
when I have one video that way, the account start like growing more.
Mm-hmm.
But when I post a video and it's just like up to 100 comments, then I care. Okay,
Let me.
I take an hour, no, and answer them,
Yeah.
because that's how you build like the engagement and the relation with people.
Yeah.
And they think like there are some like send me messages, and then I answer them, and they are like crazy like.
So shocked.
Oh, I never thought that you're going to answer me. That's crazy. Thank you. You make me my life better. And oh my God. But you don't know.
It's true though, because I've wrote other people that I follow that have the same thing, have maybe 1 million followers, but they'll respond. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, the feeling is good. So
Yeah.
I felt the same with some. Oh, the teacher that I told you, the history teacher.
Yeah.
I wrote her.
Uh huh.
She was like 1 million followers on Instagram, and I wrote her. And she answered me, and it was like, oh.
Oh shit.
So I don't know who feels the same when I answer them.
Right.
So I do it, and
Yeah.
it's little things to make someone happy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think the important thing with the social media, the addiction thing, is I think people just need to try and be where they are. And what I mean by that is my first lesson that I learned this back before I was married, before I had kids. I was big in going to concerts, go to a bunch of different rock, rap, whatever concerts in Florida. And I was always taking pictures and videos. And I realized after like maybe a year or two that I was going back to watch the concert on my phone rather than paying attention to the concert.
Oh,
Meaning
yeah.
I'm so focused on trying to get the best video and the best camera and editing and sending that when I left, I'm like, I got to watch the video to see what I missed.
And you miss.
So after that, I was like, I'll take a few pictures at the beginning and then that's it. So what I mean by I feel like for the social media addiction too is because I notice myself too, especially dinner time with the family or out group with the friends, and you're just like looking at your phone. It's like, no, it's not. You just have to be here and engage with what's going on. And I think if I could just share one lesson I learned would be that to try to break the addiction of just constantly looking on social media for that connection, like you're saying, like just be where your feet are, just be there, you know.
Yeah, but that's so hard to learn.
It is. You
For
have
a
to
lot of
experience it,
people.
I think, right?
Yeah, and actually, I'm trying because I didn't have Instagram. I opened
Before
my
this?
Instagram. Yeah,
Ah.
I opened my Instagram like June this year.
Yeah.
So I'm on Instagram.
So you're a
just
newbie.
6
So we'll have to
years.
do this again in a year, and we'll.
Yeah, yeah. I just TikTok,
Yeah.
but then every social media have like their attractive.
Sure.
So once I have like the conversation with Mafe because oh my god, I have to answer all the messages on TikTok and then on Instagram and then WhatsApp and then Facebook.
And
I
then
was
post to each of those two with
"Oh
different
my God,
content.
Yeah. That's so hard, and that's not what I do for a living.
Right.
So I don't like to spend a lot of time on social media. We should like spend more time with family, with the enjoy where we are, what are we
Yeah.
doing, more than trying to post, trying to everything.
Get the best
Because
picture,
a
yeah.
lot of people can like lose most important things in your life for being in the social media.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, look at my baby. Oh, look at my baby, but my baby is like trying to hug me or something.
Yeah, and your
No, no,
video
no, no,
thing.
no. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's hard. I know we want to share with people.
Right.
Uh, Maybe it can be like an opportunity to develop some think some small camera that you can hang this,
Yeah.
and they like record whatever you
So
want.
you don't have to actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe
Yeah.
could be an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's weird times right now. Man. So what's so fast forward to 2021. We got a new year approaching. School year is different here than it is in the U.S. So you're starting a whole new year this month or in February.
In February.
February.
In February, college is the same, just semesters. Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah, it just breaks it up every.
yeah. And schools most have a calendar. A calendar means that you begin in February or late January and ends middle November,
Okay.
more or less.
Yeah.
And the big calendar is just like in US. You
Okay.
start August and then finish May,
For
maybe
summer.
May.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why that happens because of the summer, because you have seasons there.
Right.
We don't have seasons here.
Yeah, it's the same.
If you want hot, you
Yeah.
can go 2 hours far from Bogota, and that's it.
Sure.
And we're beginning in maybe in a month. We're starting classes again. We are starting virtual again. Oh my God! I hope just this first semester, and then in August, I hope
At
we
least
can return
part-time.
at least part time.
Yeah, at least. So what's the one thing if you could change? Because I remember when we were talking when you were at my house, education, you wanted to change the system. So you said you're going to run for president, right?
Yes, I'm gonna be the
El
president.
Presidente of Bogota. But what would you do? Like, how could this problem even be approached to be fixed as far as the education system? I mean, I know it's not one answer is going to fix it all, but what do you think could help the system? What's your game plan? Do you feel like starting a different kind of school, or does it have to come from inside the education system?
I think the most important is the way that teachers are educated, because they are educated in the old way.
Yeah.
So if teachers are not motivated or voting, they will do the same with their students, and it's a cycle.
Yeah.
So it will happen again. So the way teachers learn have to change.
Yeah.
The way teachers learn, and most important, because there are two big problems. First is like the access for education, the access for good education.
Yeah.
Not everybody have that here, and when you get there, okay, I'm in the educational system,
Yeah.
but then you crash to a wall because it's something like it's boring, I don't feel motivated, I don't want to do this and whatever. So that's the two things that you have to change. And most for the most percentage of population in Colombia, they don't have even to eat or to living.
Sure.
So you cannot learn, funny or not funny, fun or not fun. You cannot learn something if you're hungry.
Yeah. If you don't have a roof over your
If
head.
you don't have,
Yeah.
if you don't have a roof, if your parents are fighting, if somebody can come to my town and kill you or
Right.
kidnap you or whatever.
Sure.
So there's the other Colombia. I call them the real Colombia, because we here in Bogota, we live like in a bubble and nothing happens here. but there they need more opportunities. So we can start like voting well.
Voting.
This voting well,
Okay.
reading the proposals,
Mm,
having better candidates, and go and vote.
yeah.
But not thinking about just me, thinking about the community and how to build a better country
Yeah.
with opportunities for all.
Yeah.
That's the first step.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for your question, just how you teach your teachers to teach.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you said, it's a cycle. Because they're getting taught that what we're saying is wrong with the system, and then they're implementing the same teachings to theirs, and it's just. So we just need keep doing what you're doing to inspire others, right? I guess that's
Thank you,
one way to do it.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Well, tell everybody where they can find you on TikTok and Instagram.
You can find me on TikTok. Sorry for my accent. I'm from Colombia.
Bogota.
From Bogota, Colombia. You can find me on TikTok as El Profe con TikTok. Maybe you can.
I'll put that in the show notes.
And on Instagram, just the same. El Profe con TikTok.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for letting us use your closet, which you can't see. We have 4 crazy kids out there that we're trying to keep the sound out. Thank you, guys. Please subscribe to my channel so you can get the latest podcast episodes and updated. And we'll see you guys later. Happy New Year. Ciao.